Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kyla and I am oh so excited to have you join us today. So I started this channel as to be like a lifestyle channel on how I navigate this crazy world we are all living in as a legally blind young adult. However, somehow, okay, no, not somehow, I know how this happened. It became an American Girl YouTube channel, which I do sprinkle in some of my lifestyle things here and there, but let's face it, the dolls have taken over. They've taken over the channel, they've taken over my room, and I love them all. And I love all of you new subscribers, but something you guys don't really know is my visual impairment. I made a video briefly way back in the day with this awful camera that I bought. Please do not go and watch that. And it's just describing all the things I have gone through to get to where I am today. But I've never fully explained what my eye condition is, what and how I can see. So hopefully I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and make this as short as possible, but I really want to give you guys as much information. And if there's something I didn't cover and you want to know, message me or comment down below. I have had the rudest of the rude comments said to me, so I do not take offense to pretty much anything. There are some things that can get me like, why would you say that? But most of the time, I'm pretty good with anything you can ask me. Maybe I'll do a Q&A in the future. Okay, I probably will. But anyway, if you did not know, I used to travel and give speeches to all different schools from grade school to college. And I haven't done that in a while, but I had like this specific format in my head that I would follow. So I'm gonna try and use that format to get through everything and cover as much as I can. Okay, so I am very open about my disability. I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't, I'm not one of those to use it as an excuse as to why I can't do things, but I'm very, very open, and I don't hide anything about it. My anxiety and depression, however, is the complete opposite. I don't really like to put that out there a ton. So anyway, I was born with septo-optic dysplasia and optic nerve hypoplasia with nystagmus. Don't ask me how to spell it, because I have no clue. But I'm going to explain what it is, and I'm going to break it up into little parts so you can understand it. Alright, so I was the first of 3 kids, and my parents kind of started noticing something was wrong with my eyes. Like, if you guys have ever, if you notice, my eyes never focus, they never stop moving, and that is called nystagmus, or dancing eyes, if you put it in layman's terms, so it's easier to understand. My eyes they constantly move. They do not stop. It's probably one of the hardest things about my condition, and I'll get into that later, hopefully, if I remember, but it's a really big struggle I deal with on a day-to-day being, an adult, and eye contact is such a big thing. Well, I can't make eye contact. So that's the nystagmus portion. As far as the septo-optic dysplasia and optic nerve hypoplasia, basically what that is the optic nerve in my brain that, sends signals to the eye and everything, like, hey, you're seeing this. It was never fully developed. For some reason, God decided, okay, Kyla is not going to have a full optic nerve, which, okay. And I'm also missing, I think it's called the septum pludusum, and it's part of my brain. It's not really that big of a deal, I guess, so I've been told, but, yeah, I'm missing that. And, my camera light, my ring light just died, so okay. So quick recap, I have dancing eyes, my optic nerve is not fully developed, and I'm missing my septum pludusum. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, but I'm not a doctor, so you can Google it if you really want to know what it does. It's not anything major. So because of this, I am declared legally blind. For a while, I would use the term, I go between legally blind and visually impaired. And legal blindness is a huge spectrum disorder. So I look at it as a big umbrella, and then all the little people under the umbrella are different people with different eye conditions. You can have someone who is legally blind and cannot see a single thing. You can have someone who can only see shadows and color, or you can have someone like me who is on the very mild end and can still function pretty much like a normal person without very much assistance, but still needs some assistance at times. So with me, basically, as a kid, I never really, obviously I knew I was different, but I was never treated different as my siblings or my cousins or my classmates. I did receive tools to help me in the classroom. I have a whole video on that. You can go check it out. I did meet with a mobility specialist and a visual impairment teacher, all until, I think it was through preschool until I graduated high school. My college was really, really good about setting me up with I think she was like a disabilities coordinator, but just anything I needed, all of my schools that I attended were really, really good. So I kicked my tripod. I'm sorry if the camera just shook. I did receive assistance in that sense in school. Like I said, I really didn't notice anything drastic until, you become a teenager and then all your friends are getting their driver's license. And you can't do that. Now, I could probably, once those self-driving cars are a thing, I could probably get one. However, I'm most likely going to choose not to. It is kind of inconvenient not to be able to go where you want when you want to, but I would be terrified the thing would explode. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. Not to say that they're not cool, because that's really interesting, but I'm just not the biggest fan of this machine, doing whatever it wants. I want to be in control. So I will never be able to drive a car. I was a cheerleader in middle school. I was not in high school. There's a whole story on that, which I do have a video on. It's recorded on the really bad camera, but if you want to go and watch it, you totally can. I didn't really do I'm a super girly girl, so sports weren't ever really my thing. I did dance from when I was 3 until I was 13, and that was really fun. So I danced for 10 years. I did, obviously, I'm sure you guys know about my pageants that I've done. That was a big part of my life, and I really used that and that public speaking, and my platform was obviously to bring awareness to legal blindness. So that was quite fun. But I didn't really have a huge problem until, like I said, my later teenage years, when everybody is going out and they're finding their independence, and I kind of can't do that. And yes, I can be independent, and I am as independent as I possibly can be right now, and back then. A big help was when I went to Leader Dog and got Winter, and I have a whole Leader Dog video that you guys are more than welcome to go check out. Winter is featured in it, so if you really want to see the cutest dog on earth, you can go watch, and that explains the whole guide dog process. But Winter did help me, and I was able to get through college with her, because let me tell you, I would not have been able to go through college alone like that and live on campus by myself if it wasn't for Winty. So I'm very grateful to her for that. A couple questions I get frequently is, obviously the can you drive a car, which I've already addressed. No. Do you go to the grocery store, and can you shop by yourself? Basically what I did with the grocery store was my mom ended up getting a map of the store, and it kind of it has mapped out everything you can get and where everything is, unless they rearrange the store and don't update their maps. But thankfully when I do go to the grocery store, we have one that I frequent all the time, and I actually have a couple family members and friends that work there, so if I ever need to ask where anything is and I'm super nervous to approach a worker there that I don't know, I can totally ask them. I have our grocery store memorized, so I know where everything I need is. I make a list and I pre-plan and everything like that. I'm not a big fan of the grocery store because there's a lot of people, and I take longer to look at things. If I want to read what something is, I take longer to find it. Something I do struggle with a lot is checkout lines. I prefer self-checkout lines, which I'll tell you why in a second, but I get really, really nervous when people are in line behind me, and I feel like they're super frustrated with me because I take a little bit longer, and I struggle with, putting the card in because I have a card with the stupid chip and I can't ever figure out where that goes. So that's definitely something I really, really struggle with, and I always try to hurry, and I don't ever want to inconvenience anybody. And I know everybody tells me, stop, you're not inconveniencing anybody, but that's how I feel. That's part of who I am. Why I choose to do self-checkout and not actually go interact with a physical person is kind of leading into this huge thing about my social anxiety, which I'm only going to briefly touch on the anxiety part. So I was diagnosed with visual impairment-induced anxiety at 16, I think, and yes, I definitely have that. My disability is a huge part of my social anxiety. I have a very, very hard time going out and meeting new people, and or speaking to anybody like a cashier, a waitress, just anybody. When we went to Hawaii for the airport, I was like terrified to get my own ticket or walk through the metal detector things. And the flight attendant, same thing. Like, I just get very scared. And this is because of my nystagmus and how my eyes constantly move. And like I said, eye contact is a big thing. And everyone thinks if you're not making eye contact with them that you're disrespectful and you're rude. And that's not my case. But I don't have to directly come out and say, hi, I'm blind. That's why I'm not looking at you. If I choose to do so, I can do that. But legally you cannot ask me about my disability. But I'm super open, so you guys can totally do that. But if someone's just like, why are you rolling your eyes at me? Like, believe me, honey, I'm not. It's just the way God made me. So that's a big thing for me when I go out. And if I go out dancing with my friends and someone, approaches me and says hello, I will say hello, but then I'm kind of standoffish because I feel very, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know, this is getting way more personal than what I intended it to be, but I just feel, I don't know, my nystagmus is a big thing of why I don't really go out and meet new people. Or if I post pictures of myself on my Instagram or my Twitter, I'm very hesitant to do so because if you don't know about my eye condition, then I will get comments like, why aren't you looking at the camera? And the same things I just previously mentioned. And it just makes me feel, I don't know, I can't really describe how it makes me feel, but I don't like it, and it's kind of sad, but I don't know, don't feel bad for me, it's okay. So that's a big thing of why I'm really, really socially awkward, and I don't like to meet new people because of the way my eyes never stop moving. Another thing I struggle with a great deal is counting change. I prefer to pay with cash. A, because then I don't have to use the card with the chip, and B, because then I don't have to spend 100 years counting coins. I know how much they are all worth, I just can't tell certain ones apart, and it drives me nuts. So I prefer to pay in cash. The question I get is, are you colorblind? No. I have a hard time telling the difference between like dark blue and dark purple sometimes, but other than that, no. My favorite color is pink. My favorite print is leopard. I'm wearing pink today, and there's always leopard behind me. So no, I'm not colorblind. I can see colors perfectly fine. As far as what I read, I believe I have this addressed in my school video, but in case you don't want to watch that, I will address it again. I can read 12-point font. It is a terrible thing for me to do. I don't like it. It strains my eyes and I get a really bad headache, but I can read it. I prefer, as far as contrast, I prefer black on white and 16-point font. My iPhone there is a zoom feature, but I don't have the zoom feature. I just have it to where all the text is bolded and it is a little bit bigger than everybody else's. I like my iPhone because it is very user-friendly. It does have, if you are someone who is legally blind and you're on the end of the spectrum where you can't see a thing, it does have the unique voiceover feature, and you can customize the voice to sound any way you want. So I use that sometimes because I like to read, and I'm a very slow reader, so I put that on when I go to bed, and it will read whatever I'm currently interested in to me. I watch TV because I know a lot of people ask me. I get this question all the time, like, why don't you ever want to watch TV with us, from my family? And it's not that I don't want to watch it with you, it's that I don't want to be super far away from the TV. So I've always struggled with watching movies or TV shows with a group of people, and yes, the TV may be big, and yes, I may be close, but part of the problem is I have to get super close, and then I'm in the way of everybody, and they're like, move your head. I'm sorry. So if you're watching something and there's like a text on the screen or subtitles, I have no idea what's going on, and I miss part of the plot. So that's why I prefer to watch TV, mainly Netflix and Hulu, on my phone so that I can see everything and I don't miss any details. As far as distance goes and what I can and cannot see, this is hard to explain in a video. It's very hard to explain, in person, because everyone's like, okay, what can you see? So I get the question, is it blurry? And what I tell people is, if you were looking through my eyes and you had 20/20 vision, my eyesight would be blurry to you, but to me, this is all I know. So, no, it's not blurry to me. I can read, I cannot read, street signs at all, except maybe stop, because that's, really common and generic. But other than that, I do not know what any street signs are saying. Some billboards I could possibly read. I don't know. The bigger and the better the contrast, the easier it is for me to read. I hope you enjoyed this quick little informative video. I had fun making it. I really love talking about my disability, obviously, because it is the way God made me, and he made me unique for a reason, and I really think it's to, spread awareness and help others and get the word out there that not everybody is the same, and even though they may be a bit different, they still all need to be treated equally. And I don't see myself as different from my siblings or my cousins or my friends. A lot of the time, if you are super close to me, you forget about my disability, because honestly, I function like a normal human being, and if I didn't have the nystagmus, you honestly would not be able to tell unless I'm reading something like in the store or whatever and I have to get really close. But the nystagmus really gives it away, and that's the biggest part of my social anxiety, is because I can't make eye contact. So anyway, with all of that being said and thrown at you guys, if you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tap that really cool notification bell so you can know the next time I post a new video. Have a blessed day, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye, guys.